Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew B? Coach, what is going on?
What's good?
Hey,
Happy to be here.
Hey, this is your first Wednesday appearance on the LBHT show, man. Welcome.
Definitely not last. Should have been here a long time ago, but I kept thinking I had been here, and I wasn't.
That's our fault, man. We're bad at inviting people. We still have a whole list of people that we got to bring on here. But we'll get to you guys. Don't you worry about that. We have not forgotten about you. And we have not forgotten about the chat. Oh, look at this. Suge said he's first. Bazel.
Everybody be taunting Bazel now in every stream.
What happened? What's up, Bazel? Salute to you. Living big with big legends in the house. What's going on?
What's up, Reg?
Living legends here. It says CP3 got that max B action. Oh man. We're gonna talk about that too. That's breaking news. He got cut from the Suns. B is it a one-way ticket to LA to play with his best friend LeBron?
It damn well better not be, but he is not officially cut yet.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Oh, the stream element bot is running. Do not be afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we were not. Everything went well last week. Okay, we didn't have a night bot incident. Okay, so everything's good. Jeremy Miller's in the house. What's going on? Will G, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for coming through. Hendo from the Road Pod. Salute. Yolanda, salute. Thanks for coming through. Our brother OTR Mike says, yo, coach in the building. Yes, indeed.
What up, Mike?
Agent E, what up? Thanks for coming through, my friend. Keenan Ricketts, what's going on? Marco G, what's going on? Says, what's good, fellas? CP Hammy getting released. What's up with that? Hey. Just Owls here says, what's up, LBHT crew? Hello, Jose, Brodny, and Coach.
What's up,
indeed.
What up, Just Hello?
And Jay the Six is in the house. Salute to you, my friend. And Raven Ron isn't here yet, but I want to give a shout out to Raven Ron, who just retired from the military Army, I believe.
Salute.
Yeah. So congratulations to you, my friend.
Congrats, man.
King 95 is here. It says free Travis till it's backwards. Yes.
I know.
Yes.
He free. I know.
He free.
He free.
Yeah, not guilty. Congrats to you. We're gonna talk about that in the overtime show. Oh, look at this.
Man.
Oh, here we go. Ferris with the early $50 donation, and this is just listen. He wants to win. All he said was points.
Thank you, Ferris.
Listen, if you guys don't know, if you didn't watch the show last week, we have adopted Coach's point system. All right.
That's why we invited him tonight.
Yeah.
Felt kind of bad.
There are all kinds of ways to get points. Donations is a good way to get points, but just being active in the chat will get you points. Subscribing to the channel will get you points. Also, if you're thinking about dropping 50 like Ferris, dropping 50 in your local, go ahead and get you a ticket to the Roundup meetup going on August 4th. Okay, here in Columbia, Maryland, at Bus Boys and Poets. That would get you the most points. Okay. So if you're thinking about dropping a little cash, put it towards a ticket and make your way there, and it'll be bonus. You get points, you'll get food, drinks, music. We're giving away prizes. Everybody's going home with a goodie bag. All right, we just confirmed something else that we're putting in the goodie bag from a local company over here. So I think it's going to be a treat for everybody that shows up. So look at that.
Before we go, what?
Ferris always 10,000 crew points. Ferris has.
But yeah, before we move on, I think we should just go over some of the other ways that they can earn points.
Yes.
You mentioned just watching, being in the chat during the live streams will get you points. Being active in the chat will get you some more points. Subscribing to the channel, subscribing to the Patreon will get you some points as well. Donating gets you 100 points per dollar. That's how Ferris got to those 5 digits there. But also, we have on LBHTShow.com where we have a newsletter. Signing up for the newsletter gets you 500 points. As I mentioned, the meetup, buying a ticket to the meetup will actually get you 6,000 points, a little bonus for the ticket there over just the money spent. We do also want to encourage people to watch the videos, right? I mean, I know everybody can't be here for the live, and we don't do as many videos as some of the other channels as Coach, as Rogue Pod, but we are going to be giving points for comments on the videos, as well as on the community posts. We also have a post that we do every week just asking for questions for the show, questions or topics. So if your question gets selected, you get some points for that. We are doing a trivia question every week, and the top 3 or the first 3 to answer correctly will also get loyalty points there as well. 1,000, 750, and 500. And if you're a little discouraged by Ferris and his donations there, think you probably can't catch him, don't worry about it, because we are also going to be doing random giveaways for just all the viewers who hit a certain point level. So just make sure that you are staying active and engaging, and you'll be in for that.
Can I give an overview of mine?
Yeah, absolutely.
So mine is not active right now, but what mine is active during the season. So, and mine is similar to what they have. So like when the games go on, and what I do is, because I go live during the game, and similar to what they do for those that donate while, for the live streams, and I do it monthly. So starting like when the game starts September 1, that's when I go back live and start doing my loyalty points. September 1 will, reset it. And from September 1 to how many days in September? 30 or 31, 30. Or how many days it is?
Yeah.
September 1 to whatever the last day of September is. From donations, watching, live with me, super chats, and whatever, you get points based off what you do and how much you watch. And at the end of the month, I give away a prize based off who's number 1. And I think the first person to win something was maybe Will G, and he won a Ravens blanket. And then at the end of when the October, we'll reset it. I started over.
Yep.
Go back to 0. And you get it based off of how much you watch, if you donate, if you whatever you do to the channel, the points go up. And I go through however long the Ravens play. That's how many months we'll do it. And once the season's over, I pretty much stop. Yeah. And so that's why I don't go 12 months. I just, as long as the Ravens play, that's how my channel kind of does the loyalty points.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like we said, we stole from Coach. Okay, yeah. So you go to Coach's channel, you see something similar happening. That's the original. That's the original system. Okay, this is the copy system. But basically, look, we encourage you guys to be active in our community, right? I believe Hendo's doing something similar with Rogue Pod. Okay, so we want to encourage you guys, and like B said, don't feel like if you don't have a lot of money to donate that you can't win anything. You still have a chance as long as you're being active. Everybody has a chance to win something. So,
and like B said, if you with the 3 questions, you still got a chance to win something. If you put the 3 questions there,
yeah,
so you still got a chance.
Absolutely,
and it's a way for us to give back to you guys for participating.
Yeah. Salute, Danity. Appreciate you, Danity. Zico Kage in the house. What's going on? Says Jose and Brodny and Coach. What's good, Unks? And everyone in the chat.
Is it the Grays? Is it the Grays? That's why he called us on.
Yeah. There you go. Will G said, "Yes, sir, Coach." The lovely, warm Raven Sherpa.
What up, Will G?
All right, we are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. But no Twitch. Twitch changed their ruls. They changed the rules. Twitch is out of here. They thought they was going to kick us out. No, you're kicked out, Twitch.
You know what? I watch a lot of Call of Duty, and watch a lot of Call of Duty on Twitch. And a lot of them streamers, as soon as they came out them new rules, they was like, "What's up, YouTube? What's up, Kick?"
I didn't even heard of Kick until today. I had a dude Ninja talking about it, and I was like, Kick, let me look that up.
Twitch burst in the house and said, "All y'all got to get the hell out."
All right, look, we have a lot of topics to discuss. If you guys weren't here last week, there's a new structure here. We're not reading as many comments during the stream. Like, we'll have little segments where we read submitted questions. We're going to give you a chance to chime in at the end during bonus time. But we have a lot of topics to get through, so we kind of want to go through these in a reasonable amount of time. I thought things went well last week and it was going to cut back on time, but we still almost hit 2 hours, so go figure. All right, what's going on? Keeping it real. Thanks for coming through. So what's going on, guys? I enjoyed your breakdown of Monken's Red Zone efficiency.
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you for watching. Appreciate you for watching.
Indeed. We're gonna have to, man. If the Heat can win if they win the finals, we're gonna have to bring the Miami boys on here. We got to bring Coach and keeping it real on here. Yes. All right. So look, we're gonna get started with the show, but first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Well, I thought you were answering Marco G here real quick. He asked him what happened with Twitch. They changed the rules so that you can't multi-stream to essentially any other streaming platform while you're streaming on Twitch.
They think they're NFL. They can just call the shots and just say, hey, you got to stream to us exclusively or nothing. And everybody said, well, we'll go everywhere else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so we do have a Black History fact. But first, I have a question for y'all. For you and Coach, do you know what are the two favorite ice cream flavors around the world? The top two.
Vanilla and
chocolate.
No, Neapolitan.
Jose got his vanilla and chocolate.
Oh, okay.
I always say chocolate because chocolate is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah. it was vanilla up until pretty recently. Chocolate kind of overtook vanilla. Kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, I'm a cookies and cream man.
That's myself. It. That's me, cookies and cream. If it ain't cookies and cream, I ain't eating it.
Just aloe got it.
But if you are someone who likes the most boring flavor, vanilla, you do have someone specific to thank for that, and that someone is Edmund Albius. He was born into slavery in 1829, and I'm going to say that I'm not going to pronounce this probably, but Saint Suzanne, which is a town on Reunion, which is an island off the east coast of Madagascar. Like I said, he was born into slavery. His mother died in childbirth, and his owner, kind of taught him some botany, right? And if you know about anything about the vanilla plant, which I did not, it grows in Mexico and I believe one other place, and they tried to bring it to other places in the world, and it wouldn't grow. Like the beans wouldn't grow because the insects left it alone. Like they didn't want anything to do with it, the vanilla vines. And so a professor in Belgium found out a way to kind of pollinate the plant by hand, but it was really time consuming, and it just, it didn't produce enough essentially to make it profitable. And at 12 years old, Edmund Albius figured out a quicker way to pollinate by hand, got the vanilla beans growing, and made that essentially the number one industry on that island, right, for a while. And then France, it's a colony of France, and France took it to Madagascar, and it's still one of the biggest industries in Madagascar. They still use Albius's essentially his method, because you have to pollinate by hand, and it became a actual profitable industry at that point. And now you have vanilla ice cream, you have vanilla extract, vanilla everything. So you can thank Edmund Albius. And for this Black History fact, we want to thank Brandon Bazel, who submitted that this week. Really appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you.
Salute to you. Salute. Our guy E's in the house is Opalaka, 135th, is that Florida? Oh yeah, 135th. Yeah. Heat tonight. Yeah, I got E.
I take it.
He used to live in Miami.
I actually got to visit a vanilla, I guess, farm in Hawaii this past summer. Interesting.
Okay.
Every row of plants or whatever they call them had to be covered to protect them because they couldn't get too much sun because they're extremely fragile.
Yeah.
Extremely fragile.
That's something, man. Manuel says Black History Month fact number 2. Shannon Sharp never had a proper bathroom until he went pro in the NFL. Huh?
Wow. He said that, but he had a proper bathroom at Savannah. It was a community bathroom, but
I'm gonna let you on a little secret, Manuel. Lots of black folks don't have that.
Right. Right.
Still to this day, they don't have that. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Nitro, what's going on? Says I see you, Coach. What's good, LBHT? What's good with you, Nitro? And Brent, salute. Thanks for coming through. and Mr. Shock. Make sure I get all the shout outs here. Thanks for coming through. All right, listen. Let's go, guys. Let's go. We used to have a little segment on our audio only podcast called Rapid Fire, right?
Slowest.
It was our longest podcast. It's supposed to be rapid fire. We go through all of our topics real quick and we just in and out. And those shows is to be an hour and a half. Okay. But this is going to be rapid fire. All right. Let's get the first topic. You guys know Chase Young. There's rumors of him possibly being put on a trading block, which I think that's accurate, right? They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, Washington Commanders. And of course, they're going to listen to offers. But I don't think he'll come for too cheap, right? Because he's still young. He's still very talented. And right now, minicamp, he's looking very good. So the question is, what's it going to take for the Ravens to get him? Because that's what we're going for, right, guys?
And do you want him?
Do you want him? Do you want him? Now, I know. Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's answer that question first. Do you guys want Chase Young? Because now, Coach, now that everybody has gotten, they just got a little taste of talent on the offense. Now they're now they're hooked, right? Now they're fiends. Y'all forgot about defense all of a sudden. Coach, do you want Chase Young on this team?
So now I know everybody hates baseball. So I'm gonna throw the number 2. I'm gonna throw your old curveball.
Okay.
I think the proper place for Chase Young is with Brodny's team.
That's right, Coach.
To pair him with Brian Burns.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
To pair him with Brian Burns and make that formidable thing.
Okay.
Because it's never any good to have one exceptional pass rusher because you just double that guy. You either have two good ones or just a rotational thing.
Yeah.
And they have two. They have Brian Burns, who's an exceptional guy. So you got to have somebody on the other side, or you just double him and then you got nothing.
Yeah.
And so we got two. The Ravens have two potentials. So which could be good because Ojabo is a potential and always a potential. So which I think having those two guys that are potentials and not really established, I think that's good because they can hit you and you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
And with Burns, you got an established guy, so you need another established guy. And and you think about with the Cowboys, until they get they do have they got Lawrence. If they didn't have Lawrence, you wouldn't hear much about Parsons. Right. You got to have two guys that can get after because you'll just double the other. And so I think Burns would benefit more from having Chase Young with him more so than us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Look,
and I don't think we'll pay him anyway.
You know that
it'd be a rental.
Scan through the chat. Listen, guys. I just yes or no. Let me know in the chat for the Ravens. Do you want Chase Young? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm not gonna pull up too many comments, but I'll scan it real quick. It looks a little mixed. I think Coach throwing that curveball really threw people for a loop there. Okay. Before you comment, right? Before we go, let's talk about the Ravens first. Before we go to the Panthers, but before you comment on the Panthers, I want to bring something up beforehand because I was reading some comments from Panthers Nation on Twitter, and there's some mixed feelings about that too because they've been talking about that as well. But I'm going to say yes, bring them, right? My first option is still get D-Hop. He's visiting the Titans right now. Doesn't look like he's quite getting the offers that he's looking for. So he's kind of just, doing his due diligence. I think we should still be in on him. That's my number one option. But go get Chase Young. All right. If they're really offering him up, like Coach said, you want another strong edge rusher. We got some young guys on the team. I know I'm not completely, done with Owe. I actually like Ojabo, right? I think we might have something there. But Tyus Bowser is the only short thing that we have. Okay. I don't think there's any question about Chase Young other than injuries. As long as he's healthy, he's a beast. Mm-hmm. So go get the short thing there. That will actually help us in the secondary since we don't have that number 2 corner. that would help, shore everything up. When you have edge rushers that can get to the quarterback faster, it takes the pressure off the secondary. So go and do it. If we have the ability to do it, now's the time. We got to be all in on winning the championship now. So
what do you give up for him though?
I don't know. So
is it bodies or picks? I don't necessarily mean like an individual. Do you give up bodies or picks?
They're probably looking for picks, and I give that up. I don't even care if it's a first round, to be honest. I don't think he'll go for a first, but if they ask for a first, I don't care. Our pick is going to be low anyway.
Yeah, definitely going to be late. Definitely, this year is definitely going to be late.
Yeah, give that up. You can have the 30 or 32nd, whatever. Take that. That's essentially a second round pick. So if they want that, yeah, you have that. We'll take Chase off your hands, and I think they're seriously considering it. In fact, they might be leaning towards it because, look, he underwhelmed a little bit because he's been hurt like the last 2 years or so, and he'll probably, if he stays healthy, he's going to ball out. I don't think there's a question about that. And he's going to command too much money, and he'll be a free agent. They're not going to want to franchise tag him, right? So, they're going to try to get what they can for him right now. So make a decent offer.
Yeah, if I'm Baltimore, I'm not going after Chase Young. He is super talented. I do agree with Coach that Carolina should be in on that. The contract would be a little difficult for them. They do have to pay Brian Burns as well, but I think it does make sense for Carolina. If I'm Baltimore, like we've talked about, and we're going all in, I'm going after Danielle Hunter, who the Vikings are taking offers. They're taking calls on him. Chase Young, he got all the talent in the world. He's got 9 career sacks, right? Danielle Hunter has 4 seasons of double-digit sacks. He's had some injury issues himself, but again, for certain he's an elite level pass rusher, when he's healthy. So if I'm Baltimore, that's the direction I'm going. If I'm Carolina, I'm getting Chase Young, I'm getting Danielle Hunter, I'm getting Montez Sweat, like whoever it is, because Yatir Gross-Matos, DJ Johnson, and Amari Barno. Those are the reasons.
Well, I was going to ask you because shout out to what's that channel? C3 Panthers? Is that the name of the channel?
I believe so, yeah.
C3. Shout out to them, man. I saw one of them commenting on Twitter today. He was completely against Chase going to the Panthers because of Brian Burns. He said, "Look, we get him here. First he's always hurt. The injury prone thing, which that's not really a thing for me. And if he plays well, then we're gonna have an issue paying him and Brian Burns. But I don't see the problem there.
No, you have a quarterback on a rookie deal for the next 5 years. You got to spend your money.
Yeah,
go and spend the money.
And if you think we can't afford both of them, well, you pay the one that's better. And if Chase Young is healthy, I think he's better than Brian Burns. And it's not going to be a matter of having to pay Burns and Chase Young. It's a matter of, well, we got Chase Young. I don't know what we're going to do about you, Burns.
No, they can pay both of them. They got rid of DJ Moore. They got rid of Christian McCaffrey. They don't have anybody, coming up on a big contract for a few years in the secondary. They can pay both of them. So that's not really an issue. They just may not want to. But like I said, you got Bryce Young on his rookie deal. Don't make the mistake that Baltimore made of not going all in during those 5 years. Go and get all of the talent you can acquire during that time, because you're not going to be able to do it later.
Okay. Are there any other teams that will be a good fit that you guys can think of?
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams out there that would be a good fit. The Texans, for what their new coach is going to do and the defensive mind that he is.
Yeah.
The Colts, for what they going to, any of those teams, well, I would say the Titans, but it looks like from what I've been hearing, Will Levis is boo-boo juice, even in practice.
What about as a replacement for Frank Clark in Kansas City?
Ooh.
So that's one of the teams.
I don't want them to get in better, but yeah.
There are 2 teams I was thinking of. Neither one that I want to see. One was Kansas City, because I can absolutely see them doing it. And this is why I'm saying go and do it. If any of you guys out there have reservations about giving up a first round pick, teams like Kansas City will give up their first round pick to get them. Also, a team in our division, which I could see doing it, is Pittsburgh.
Pairing him with
Pittsburgh.
TJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget Mike Tomlin going up to Chase Young and telling him, "I never want to be bad enough to draft somebody like you." He's like, "I don't want my teams ever to be bad enough to where we can draft high enough to get somebody like you." He's like, "You're too good of a player. We will never, be that high up in the draft. But if you're available via trade,
right,
to pair him, to pair him next to TJ Watt, you guys don't want that either."
No, sure don't. Sure don't. Especially now with Morgan Moses still on the team.
Oh god.
Well, that leads right into our next topic. Actually, the Ravens mandatory camp, where apparently we are working out Daniel Falele and Ben Cleveland at that right tackle spot.
Hey, just talked about that today.
I watched it. I watched it. Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Coach does a Monday through Wednesday call-in show. This week is 5:30. And well, is it going to be 5:30 for a few weeks?
It's 5:30 till it's 5:30 for now.
Okay, 5:30
for now.
5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in. Great show. And what I love about your shows, coaches, man, like you're very informative. You give a lot of nuance to a lot of these topics, right? We do a lot of hot takes here, but you can kind of break things down as to why something's a good idea or why it's a bad idea or why it's just, hey, it's interesting. Let's wait and see. But I would love for you to kind of give your take on that situation that B is talking about, because you opened the show with that, and I thought you broke it down perfectly.
So when Falele first came out and I realized how big he was and saw him, I was like, this dude can't move. So he's not a tackle, even though he played tackle, in college and whatnot. I'm like, he can't. In NFL, tackles have to have good feet, no matter how big they are, and he don't have good feet. So in my mind, instantly he's a guard. And then to see, the reports yesterday come out that they moved him to guard to just to try it and see. I was like, well, I've been saying this. He's a guard.
Yeah. And
if he's a guard, put him next to this is no knock to Linderbaum, because Linderbaum's a smaller guy. That would be a perfect, marriage. To let him lay on people with Linderbaum, as far as his skill set, that would be a perfect marriage, for double teams and stuff like that. Just think about, whenever Zeitler decides to hang it up or move on or whatever, a massive Cleveland, with Linderbaum with his abilities and a massive Falele, that interior right there, we'd be mauling people.
Yeah, I seen Falele up close in person. He's a
mountain.
Yeah,
he reminds you of the mountain from not Call of Duty, from Game of Thrones.
He's a giant, and if you can get him on the field and he can figure some things out, oh my god, I think left guard would be perfect if he can work that out.
Yep. Stanley,
Falele, and then you got Linderbaum in the middle. Just keep running to the left.
Exactly.
Who was that lineman? I forget. He played for the Cowboys.
Nate Newton?
It might have been Newton. No, was it Nate Newton? They used to always talk about him. Defensive linemen used to always talk about him, how he would let them know that a play's coming his way.
Larry Allen.
Larry Allen. Yeah, Larry Allen.
He said, who was it? It was I think it was like a Giants player. It might have even been Strahan. He said every time a run play was coming his way, they break the huddle and he started laughing. He'd like choo choo, right? He's like that means the play's coming this way, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I think that was Larry Allen. That's how dominant do you have to be to know something's coming that way, and the defensive lineman know it's coming and you can't stop it.
Right.
And for that reason right there, I know this is a little off topic. That's why Emmitt Smith is not the best running back ever.
Right. Yeah. Because you have linemen that can do that.
Right.
Hey, Emmitt's gonna run right behind me. Okay. But you'll be on the ground. Don't worry about it.
All right, up next, we've got a pretty depressing topic out of Carolina. Matt Rhule was a terrible coach, apparently. Today, Tommy Tremble, if you don't know who that is the tight end that Carolina drafted in the third round a couple years ago out of Notre Dame, who has not really progressed at all, hasn't really produced at all for Carolina. He did an interview with the Charlotte Observer, and he had this to say about the previous regime. He says, this is the first time that we've really been coached up receiving-wise, other than us trying to figure it out on our own. Tremble said in a phone interview with the Observer on Tuesday. This is really the first opportunity we've had to excel in the receiving game and have points and receive teaching points on how to attack this kind of leverage, attack this kind of defense. Before it was more you run what's on paper, and you try to make it work. And let me take this down real quick. And if it didn't work, you just try to figure it out yourself. Obviously, Matt Rhule is gone, along with almost his entire staff. They retained a couple of people. But let me ask you, Coach, do you think that for a player like Tommy Tremble, who hasn't really shown much on the field, how big of a difference do you think it would make, with that kind of an upgrade at coach? They have Frank Reich in there now. Do you think he could possibly go from what's kind of been a bust, kind of a dud of a pick, to a productive player?
My thing is, so is this a shot at Matt Rhule, or is it a shot at the position coach?
I think it's a shot at all of them.
That's what I'm saying, because in the NFL, the head coach normally coaches the coaches. He doesn't really have time to give you what that article indicates.
Mm-hmm.
The position coach has to give you those points. Matt Rhule doesn't have the time to give you the coaching points for the position. The position coach does. Now, from my knowledge, Matt Rhule is a system coach, and in college you can get away being a system coach. So I'm not saying Matt Rhule is not giving him a pass, but I think that's a shot at whoever the position coach was.
I think that ultimately falls on the head coach, though, right?
It could. I just want to put both of them out there and not just say Matt Rhule. Whoever his position coach was, his name should have been in that too, and not just he shouldn't get a pass too, is what I'm saying.
Facts.
But Matt Rhule ultimately falls upon him because he's the head coach. So you're right too. But whoever the position coach was, he needs to be mentioned in the same sentence as Matt Rhule for both of them not doing their job.
Yeah, and he's gonna get all the blame too, because he puts it on himself, right? Like, I mean, he puts himself out there. He has that reputation now, and in large part because of him. He likes to throw players under the bus, and then players respond. Teddy Bridgewater been saying for 3 years that Matt Rhule doesn't know red zone offense, doesn't know 2-minute offense, and people thought he was being salty about it. He wasn't being salty. He was just telling you like it was, and then of course Matt Rhule gets fired. He's going on this whole tour trying to explain the situation and what happened and how basically it wasn't his fault, and really he had that team in a winning position. Like he's just the slimiest of people you can think of, right? So having a player come out now and say something like that, it's going to reflect back on Matt Rhule because of all those things in the past.
So what it's telling me is Matt Rhule can recruit and can't coach.
Yep.
Because in college, if you can recruit, you can win some games. If you can recruit. If I got the best Jimmys and Joes, I can beat some people.
Absolutely. Salute to OTR Mike for the $5 donation. He says, "Get your tickets now." Indeed. Hit that Eventbrite link. August 4th, the Roundup meet and greet. Okay, going on at Bus Boys and Poets in Columbia, Maryland. Get your tickets. If you're thinking about it, if you're saying, let me wait and see, go ahead and put that on your calendar now. Clear your calendar. You only need 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours of fun for $50. You can't beat that. And salute to Anonymous for a donation. Says, what position coach does a player like Tommy? It cut off there. Oh, what did it say? Oh, I got here. What position coach does a player like Tommy goes under coach because he is an H-back? Oh, okay. Oh, what position coach does he go under? He plays tight end and some fullback that are versatile. Okay.
He'd be the tight end coach. The tight end coach would have to handle that.
Okay.
Because there's no H-back coach. The tight ends coach would handle them duties. So no matter where he lines up, it'd be the tight end coach. Because
go.
I mean, the tight end is only in for a certain amount of whatever plays. So if they put him at H-back, it's still tight end coach.
Gotcha.
We normally call him the sniffer, but it's still tight ends. Because that's the body. Because really the fullback is fading. It's really what? About 5 to 10 fullbacks in the NFL now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Baltimore got 2.
Right.
Mason and Ricard.
And got rid of the other one.
Right.
Yeah, they would get rid of Mason. Yeah.
No, Mason it was articles about Mason the other day. Saying he had a great
No,
day.
I meant use check.
Yeah.
Use
got rid of
check.
use check.
It's Mason, Ricard, use check, the other Watt.
Yeah.
And it's probably about 4 more.
Yeah.
Goodness. You got any more thoughts on Matt Rhule, B?
I know the caption says it. And but even to Coach's point though, like you can recruit and win in college, like you can do that in the NFL too. Like there's been guys who just had teams that it takes a lot more talent, a lot more talent. But you can have kind of caretaker head coaches in the NFL as well. I don't know what Matt Rhule thought was going to happen with the all college staff that he put together that had no experience working with grown men and no NFL experience, but obviously it didn't work out. Actually, I do know what he thought because he said it. He said that I thought I had 7 years to build it.
Also, I think he
so no common sense over there.
I think he did what a lot of coaches come from college straight into the NFL as a head coach do. They try to get a lot of younger guys that coming out of college, guys that they've coached before, because they think that they had that respect already built in. But a lot of times what happens is they realize that A, that player just isn't as talented because in the NFL as he was in college. And B, that player doesn't really respect you the way you thought he respected you. He just had to play by the rules because you control his career in college. Right. So a lot of coaches coming straight from college to the NFL, not building any real relationships, because these are grown men. Like these aren't these aren't teenagers, right? And they're not kids. These are grown men, and it's a different culture. And it's just a lot of times those coaches don't understand that the first time in the league. I think that's definitely what's going on with Matt Rhule.
Yeah, it's like that story about Nick Saban, right? When he went to Miami and he tried to yell at Zach Thomas, and Zach Thomas was like, "Whatever, Nick," and then and Saban packed his bags and went to Alabama. So up next, I don't ever want to talk about Matt Rhule again.
For the same reason Deion said he never coached NFL. He's like, how can I yell at guys that make more money than me?
Mm-hmm.
This is different.
Well, you know what you can do? You can not yell at them.
Yeah.
When have you ever seen Mike Tomlin yell at anybody?
That's why he's different. That's why he's my favorite coach. And I know that's crazy to say because he's on a rival team. Mike Tomlin is my favorite coach because
he's mine too.
A different level of respect. It's the more respect you give, the more you get.
Yeah.
And the more you can get out of people. When you respect is earned. And it's not, and even like me with teaching, and I'm gonna tie it in. The way I talk to our kids and the way I see other people talk to our kids, I can say and do different things with kids that other teachers in the building can't, because of the amount of respect I give them. So they respect me way more, and I have a bigger leash to talk to them and joke with them than other teachers can't because of the amount of respect that I give them. I talk to them. I don't talk at them. I don't talk down to them. And I think that's what Mike does. He treats them as equals first.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can kind of, work his magic with them. He don't talk like he above them. He treats them as men first, then uses that platform once he get them in a certain space. Then he uses what he needs to do with them. He don't just talk down on them and like I'm bigger than you because I'm the coach.
Right. No, that's what it is. And salute to Ferris boy. He won his points. Ferris with a $10 donation says, I have always wondered about coaches. Do they like versatile players that can play more than one position, or do coaches prefer one player that at one at one position. One player at one position.
Todd Gurley said it best. The more you can do, the more valuable you are.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's why Patrick McCarry is everybody's favorite lineman in Baltimore, right? Because allegedly he can play all 5 positions.
Right.
Yeah.
He don't play them that well, but I mean, he can do it.
Right.
And even if you don't do it at a high level, you know, the fact that they can put you in there and not get Villanueva is a valuable thing.
Yeah.
That man made that man a verb.
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of people in the chat saying the same thing that we're saying. Like, we're not Steelers fans, but we all love and respect Mike Tomlin. That says something for fans of a rival team. You know, I'm pretty sure they're not saying that about John Harbaugh.
Talking about Steelers fans?
Yeah.
Or Ravens fans, really. So up next, we did get some submitted questions for the show this week. So we're going to dive into a few of those now. So we have first up, my guy, Big B. In regards to wins this coming season, who's your pick for most improved team this year? And who's your pick for the most disappointing team this year? For me, it's the Bears and the Chargers.
Most improved in terms of wins?
Yeah.
I would go with the Bears. I really think the Bears are going to have a, especially with Aaron Rodgers leaving that division. I think the Bears could possibly win that division. I know the Vikings are going to have a lot to say, but the Vikings lost some stuff. I think the Bears could push 11, 12 wins.
Okay.
Wow.
11 to 12, huh?
That's a good one, Coach. I'm going to say Houston. I think now that they have the quarterback, if you watched them, you saw that the defense was already building towards something there. And they got the quarterback, and they got that. Did they get that lineman too? They traded back up to get
Will Anderson.
Yeah, they could surprise a lot of people. And that division, that division is going to be competitive because you got the Colts that got their quarterback. You got the Jaguars that are already a playoff team, but I think Houston can surprise a lot of people. I'm gonna go with them. I'm not sure if they'll be a playoff team, but they ain't win too many games, so I mean, they can be improved and still not make the playoffs. Worst team, disappointing team. I'm going to say the Patriots. I think they still. Do we expect them to be a playoff team still?
I don't. No. That division is hard.
No, they're the worst team in that division.
Okay, well, I'm wrong then. I'm going to say.
I'm going to say the Broncos. No, that division hard too. That division hard too.
The Broncos all only had the 5 wins. So I mean, they gotta hit 0 to be the most disappointing.
This is tough because
I don't want to say the Chargers, but they are almost the obvious choice. The other team I was thinking was the Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
But I like the Seahawks.
Me too.
So I'm gonna say for the most surprising or most improved, I like the Bears pick. I think that they are much improved, but I'm gonna go also in the AFC South. But I'm gonna say the Indianapolis Colts, who already had a pretty decent roster. They were just out there, trotting out corpses at quarterback. But now they've got Anthony Richardson. Even if he struggles a bit, I think they're gonna be a much better team than they were. They won 4 games last year. So I can see them getting close to double digits. In terms of disappointment, I'm going to say Minnesota. Especially if they trade Danielle Hunter and they cut Dalvin Cook and they got rid of Adam Thielen. And I understand they got Jordan Addison, but Jordan Addison is a rookie. You don't know exactly what to expect from him, how much he's really going to contribute. And if you're putting it on Kurt, I'm going to say you're falling pretty hard from that 13 wins that you had last year.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I go with you. I agree with you on that with Minnesota.
So next up, this comes from Kogan.
Oh, wait. Did you see Hendo's choice?
I did not.
The Panthers.
That's the most improved, right? No, yeah, right there with you, Hendo. From Kogan here, how would y'all feel about bringing back Yannick Ngakoue?
I'm cool with it because
Yeah.
it's a different scheme. We're honestly more of a 4-3 scheme, which would fit him more. So but not necessarily a 4-3, but even front scheme. So I think it would fit him more because we do a lot more than that odd stuff, which was not for him. Would have put him in a 5 or a 7 more coming off the edge. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it too. But trade for Chase Young. Right?
I think it would be fine. I think there are several places that they should be looking first. Like there's a Chase Young, Frank Clark. Obviously they missed out on Leonard Floyd. He's gone now. But I think there's a Daniil Hunter. But if it comes down to it, then yeah, go ahead. Why not? Yeah. Just not in Houston. That's all. We have another question here from Big B. Predictions for offensive and defensive rookies of the year. I'm gonna go. I know that typically when you have the quarterbacks, they like to give it to the quarterbacks, right? And you've got 3 really high profile quarterbacks there in Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. So I think actually the most impactful or the best rookie is probably going to be Bijan Robinson, the most productive. But I think that the award will go to, I'm going to say CJ Stroud.
I wanted to say Bijan, but I don't think so because of Cordell and the other running back they have. What's Algiers? So I don't think he's going to have the numbers that everybody thinks because I think they're going to have like a rotation. I think a receiver's going to get it because of the role of receivers in today's NFL. I think it's going to be JSN.
Okay.
Where did he go?
Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll have the numbers enough playing behind, with being behind Lockett and Metcalf in terms of targets necessarily, but and I think it's tough for receivers in general, just because they like to say, hey, if the receiver had a great year, that's because of the quarterback. But no, I mean he's definitely got the talent to do it. In terms of defensive player of the year, I think everybody had Jalen Carter as possibly the best defender. Don't think he's not going to be making the kind of plays that you would need to win it. So I'm going to go with the easy and safe pick and say Will Anderson out of Houston.
I think Will. I was going to go Will too. Will's good.
Yeah, I got Will Anderson. My pick for offense is going to be Bryce Young, because out of those quarterbacks, I think he's the more the one I'm more sure about that's going to make the playoffs, right? Don't know about the Texans. I think they'll be improved. I think Indy will be improved. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs because the AFC is tough. But I think the Panthers will win the division.
Which one of those 3 guys you think gonna start right off the bat?
All 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
I think all 3 of them are gonna start. I mean, listen, I think CJ Stroud and Richardson are going to start. You're hearing a lot of really good things about CJ Stroud from their mini camps and whatnot, which, I mean, it's mini camp, but I know damn well Andy Dalton better not see one snap in Carolina. Not one, barring injury. Our last question of the day comes from our guy Davon. I think I don't know if he somehow kind of intuited that you were going to be here, but this has to be directed at you. Will Prochet be on this roster week 1?
Davon, come on, man. I can't avoid the Prochet slander.
He posted that 3 days ago.
Bruh. No. But you know what? We talked about this Monday on the roundup. For whoever beats him out, they will have bust their butt to beat him out.
Yes.
Because like we talked about Monday, he's going to put whoever beats him will have earned it. I don't think he's gonna be on the roster, but whoever beats him will have to give their all to, because he gonna turn the knob up. He gonna give his all every practice, every day, unless he gets hurt. Because he gonna every rep he gonna go 100%, every drill he gonna go 100%. And if you don't go 100%, you may be more talented than him, but it's gonna show. It's gonna show up if you are not giving your all, because he's gonna give his all every rep on every play. So I don't think he's gonna be on the roster, but you're gonna have to go all out.
Yeah, I think this is a hard no for me. I think that if he wins that 6th spot, they'll be like, we'll just keep 5.
They're gonna add an extra tight end.
Yeah.
Who can we trade for? He's not gonna make the roster, but I think he'll be back on the practice squad. He's still eligible for the practice squad, right?
Yes, I think so.
He'll be on the practice squad. They're unless somebody else picks him up, but they'll keep him around. They'll keep him in the building.
And for him to make the practice squad, he's gonna have to catch balls from AB, I think, in the preseason to do well.
Yeah. And salute to Mike for another donation. What did I say, B?
I said, oh, hey, kids, get your tickets now.
Get your tickets.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Indeed. All right. So anyone people in here, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And look, we plug it every week. Okay. Sip to Tally Films. All right. Go over there. Sip to Tally. Hit that subscribe button. All right. Coach is putting out stuff daily. All right. He's the reason why we have the Ravens Roundup every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I know you guys tune in for that. This is the man that makes it happen. All right. And he will also be here August 4th for the Ravens meeting or the Roundup meet and greet. All right. So listen, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, just got confirmed. Nice little collab for tomorrow. So make sure you go over there, subscribe, turn your notifications on. So when I finish editing it up, I'll be there. Just got confirmed a nice little collab for tomorrow.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, so that is all of the questions for this week. We're going to move on to the topic of the day. The NBA Finals featuring coaches Miami Heat.
Yes.
The 305, baby. 305.
Yes.
Who you got tonight, Coach?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Who you got tonight, Jose?
So I'm gonna say this. I think Denver wins tonight. Miami wins the next one. They go back to Denver tied up 2-2.
I think
I'm opposite, Jose. I'm opposite.
You're opposite? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Miami wins tonight. Denver wins Friday.
If Miami wins tonight, I might have to change my pick. I don't think Denver can handle being down 2-1. So
you thinking if Miami wins tonight, then Miami will win Friday too?
Yes.
If that happens, I think it's a wrap.
Me too.
And honestly, as a Miami fan, I still don't think we can win the series. But if what you say happens, I think it's over with.
Oh, I think so too. It's a mental thing, right? I think Denver is a better team, but Miami is. We know they're tough, right?
They're mentally strong.
They're mentally strong, and I think if they get up on Denver, they will impose their will on this team.
Let me just interject in that. Let's not give them too much credit for that mental strength, having blown that 3-0 lead and had to go into Boston in the game 7. Now,
they handled business.
They won the game. They didn't exactly handle business. They lost 3 straight. I think that
they won the
Denver,
series.
Yeah, but you're talking about them being mentally strong and imposing their will. That's the exact.
They wasn't supposed to. They technically that was a fluke 3 in a row. That tip in. Let's go back then. Let's go to game 6.
We could say the same thing about the first 3. Come on now.
Let's go to game 6. Jimmy Butler got fouled with 2.1 seconds left. Where did those 0.9 seconds come from? That they pushed it back to 3 seconds. Yeah. Derek's tip in was with 0.2 seconds left.
I don't think if
they don't put 0.9 seconds back on the clock, that tip in don't happen.
Do you really want to go back and start debating calls for the whole series? Is that what we want to do? I don't think you do. I don't think so.
You don't have to. It doesn't. Look, the thing is, okay, they got up 3-0 and then they let them come back and tie it. But Boston again is the better team, right? They were the ones that were expected to win that in like 6.
Well, I won't kind of refute that. I'm gonna say Milwaukee was the more talented team. I'm gonna say Boston was the more talented team. Miami's showing they are the better team as
Yes.
far as 1 through 15.
Oh, there's no
The
question.
the other teams have had better players, except for New York.
Right.
Milwaukee was the more talented, but Miami plays better as a team. I guess I'm saying Miami plays better as a team because they're getting contributions from no-name people.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they had the best coach in that conference, right? Like, and I think that's what's going on. Where you have coaches that they obviously have talent on the team, and they just, like I said, it was one of those things where they were expected to win, and then Miami played some tough games and got up on them, and they just unraveled.
Yeah. It's a little luck in there too now. Like B talked about Monday. There's a little luck. Like Giannis, like that Milwaukee stuff, that was a little bit of ego. Giannis sat out thinking, okay, when I come back, we just gonna get them out the way. And that didn't happen. And then Tatum's ankle, that helped. So it was a little luck in there. I think New York didn't stand a chance because New York was sorry.
I was waiting for you to just gloss over them. I know Ferris ain't appreciating that. Ferris, coach's views do not necessarily represent the views of Lunch Break Hot Take. Don't worry about that.
I'm sorry, Ferris. I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry. I like you, Ferris, but I'm sorry. New York is Miami North. I'm sorry, Ferris.
Well, I think Denver gets the win tonight, and then they win the next 2 as well. And I think it's going to be over in 5.
Again, I just until we Joker is different, man, and I like my team, but until we get 3 wins, I just don't see it.
It's tough. It's tough.
Here's something that I was hoping would not come up, but thank you so much for the donation, Chad.
Hey, what's up, Chad?
What is up with Zion Williamson? God damn.
All right, let's try to keep this as PG-13 as possible.
I'll just say this. This will be my contribution to the conversation, and then I'm out because I don't want to talk about this. Zion has his mind on a lot of things that are not basketball related.
Listen,
I'm gonna say Zion ate the wrong A2
Listen, let that man live. What's the problem here? What's the problem? What's the problem? Let that man live. What would you do when you in your early 20s with this is pre-marriage?
Okay? I wouldn't do that.
Impregnating porn stars, you wouldn't do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Well, he didn't get her pregnant. He got somebody else pregnant. That's
but I think she is. I think she is too.
Yeah, I think she is.
No, she was hinting. She was saying, "I better not be pregnant. You better hope I'm not pregnant."
No. The other girl, I think she is also.
I think both of them might be.
One said she was late. Yeah.
Potentially, maybe.
Hey, not where's my gavel? Not guilty.
As Drake said, never late is better.
Listen, you don't get the not guilty when you ain't on the court. All right, you are very guilty.
That's listen. It's off season right now. Okay, these are off season problems.
It's been off season forever for Zion. He was cleared to play in the playoffs and said, "No, I'm good."
I don't hear anybody giving Jimmy G this kind of grief. Okay, he did the same thing.
Jimmy G out on that field.
Jimmy G ain't performing. Jimmy G was not on the field.
Jimmy G took his team to a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. And then a conference championship. I'm sorry. Where did Zion take New Orleans?
Man, listen.
And by the way, where did Zion take Duke? He ain't never been a winner.
Listen.
Zion, his shoes,
bursting out his goddamn shoes on TV.
You go. Oh, it's his fault that Puma messed up his shoes. He makes the shoes now.
Or did his feet mess up Puma?
Listen, let the man live. That's all I'm gonna say. Not guilty.
Hey, all right. Let me ask this. Let the man live. He not guilty. You want him in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah, for what?
You can have Ben Simmons all day.
Oh, he's even still on? I forgot he was on the roster. They ain't trading you Zion for Ben Simmons.
We'll take Zion and Ja.
Look, I love my Duke players, but I don't want that to do anywhere near any team I root for.
but it's not because of this situation.
No. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
It's because he got cleared for a playoff game, ran on the court, did a 360 dunk, and said, "Nah, I'm gonna sit out." Because I don't even mind the injuries. Like that happens. That's I mean, you can't control that. I mean, maybe you don't need as much, but you can't really control that. But when you are cleared to play and you're just like, I don't feel like it. I don't want you around.
Yeah. So he is getting played. And I brought up E's comment for a reason, because you guys might have seen our last video that we put out talking about game 2, how it was shot. If you look in the credits, it says directed by Ilax Lens. That is our guy, Eric. All right. He's dope with the camera. Yes. We did a lot of filming that day. We're gonna be putting out some promos and stuff like that. It's gonna be well shot. And if you like it, you like the content, you have that man right there to thank. And we're gonna be doing some more stuff in the future. So, salute to you, E. Appreciate you, bro.
Salute E.
But yes, the other things, this right here, it's funny. We're gonna make fun of it, and we've been talking about it. But look, man, he's a young man.
Enjoy yourself, whatever. I mean, just be be careful. Yes, but I don't care about anything. Oh, look who it is. Popping up suspiciously after a playoff win for Jimmy Butler.
Money Making Mitch says this is not March Madness. We the worst team did not win a best of 7 series. Miami is the best team in the East.
Yeah, okay. that is unbelievably false. I watched the Phoenix Suns get to the finals.
Listen, man,
they wasn't the best team out there.
Man, I don't even care. You can say who the best team is, who's not the best team. They're there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, like, they're not the best team. Listen, the best team doesn't always get there. Like, I mean, best is a word that doesn't really mean anything. Like, it's just something for people to argue about when they talk sports. I told people that the Giants were the best team that year. The Patriots went undefeated, right? Because there's one goal in sports, it's winning a championship, and the team that wins it is the best team.
Listen, let me tell you something.
There are circumstances, though.
Listen, when the Ravens won their last Super Bowl, they were not the best team in the league, right? Flacco went on an amazing run. He was a Super Bowl MVP, became the highest paid QB in the league, right? And now Ravens fan that I knew will always tell me, man, Flacco ain't worth that money, right? And I'll tell them, that's right. But he's got a ring, and your quarterback doesn't. I'm like, yep, he's an average quarterback. He's not worth it. And he just won a Super Bowl ring. How do you feel about that? Rub it in their faces. Yep. It don't matter if Miami ain't the best team. If they pull this off, they got another ring.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. But I was unbelievably upset the year the Ravens won that Super Bowl, because at the beginning of that year, Coach, literally right before that season, we got into an argument about Joe Flacco versus Tony Romo, and Jose was like, "Oh no, I'll take Joe Flacco." I'm like, "You are insane. You will never win a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco."
that Denver game, I was in the basement with B and our dad, and I was so mad. Because before that fluke of a pass that he threw to Jacoby Jones, he tried to run it and got tackled, right? And I'm like, what do you think you're doing? We have 30 seconds left in the game. So they're going back to the huddle, and then he drops back in the pocket, and then he steps up, and I'm thinking he's going to run again. I'm like, here we go. He's going to get hit again. And he launched up in the air, and I'm yelling and screaming, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, wait, where's the ball going? And Jacoby Jones caught that ball. I screamed. I ran up the stairs, ran back down the stairs. I just lay on the ground. Just like, what did I just watch?
I just fell on my knees. I just fell on my knees because I'm like you, Jose. I'm like, what? Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Run!
I couldn't believe that. And then y'all was stomping out the 49ers. I had to go cut the power just to give them a chance. It didn't work though. It didn't work. But congrats, I guess.
I was in a parking lot watching it in New Orleans. I wasn't actually at the game, but we went to New Orleans and set up in a parking lot, maybe a couple blocks from the Superdome, and with some bunny ears watching it. And when the power went out, we thought our rabbit ears or whatever had messed up. not knowing that it actually went out in the door.
All right, well, thank you so much for the donation, Mike. He said, Zion told me to tell y'all, get your tickets now. I don't see what you're doing, Mike. You're trying to creep up on Ferris with the smaller donation so he don't know it. But I don't think it's gonna work, Mike. But hey, listen,
that's exactly what he's doing. He keeps checking his points. Once again, if you're just joining, I know Megan just came in here, a few other people just joining. New structure here. Okay, so you don't see us reading as many comments up on the screen, but obviously we're going to read donations. We'll put up a couple of comments here and there. In the bonus time, we're going to get through all these comments and answer your questions. But he said, I'm selling tickets, bro. There you go. But we have a point system going on now. So the more you interact with the show, okay, the more points you get. So watching the show, leaving comments, leaving donations, buying tickets. All right. There's all kinds of ways to get points. Submitting questions, all those will get you points.
For the newsletter on LBHTShow.com. That'll get you points.
There you go. And like Anonymous just did with the $50 donation, salute, says, I think that play ruined Raheem Moore's career.
Yeah, he was out of the league a couple years later.
He was. That safety too. Oh yeah, that safety. Who's it? No, not the safety. I was gonna say Champ Bailey. That hurt him. That hurt him too, because he got smoked by Torrey Smith. Yep. And salute to Hendo. Hendo says, I guess Mike want people to get tickets. Yeah. That's right. Indeed. Okay. So we didn't get to talk about hold on, I'm freezing up here. We didn't get to talk about CP3. We mentioned him at the beginning. He's not officially cut yet. My camera messing up. He's not officially cut, but it's happening. And he said he plans on playing for several more years, B. Mm-hmm. So is it finally going to happen? Is he going to team up with LeBron with the Lakers?
Better not.
Okay.
He may want to play for a few more years, but his body quit playing a couple years ago. So I mean, they're kind of at an impasse there. He's not a point guard that's going to take your team. I mean, he never was a point guard that was going to take you to a title, but he can't take you to the play-in at this point. Like, he's just not that guy anymore. They need to be focused on getting younger and better, and bringing in a dude in his late 30s who is a lifelong choker is not the way to do it.
Yeah, he don't have enough of. He can give you one good quarter, which is why he tried to save himself to the fourth quarter and make the mid-range jump shots. He can't give you full games anymore, and he's 38. Man, the dude's almost my age.
Yeah,
he just can't. I mean, like I read or something, like some kids at his daughter's school giving his daughter grief, saying your dad ain't never win no chip. Like, you ain't got to prove nothing to that kid, man. You played in the NBA for pretty much 18, 19 years. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. You know, Barkley's having a great after NBA career. He never won a chip.
That daughter has the easiest bounce back, easiest comeback. Yeah, your dad will never be on my dad's level.
All she got to say is, my daddy rich.
Listen, her dad gets on court with CP3. He'll look like a 5-time champion.
Well, it'll be like what's his name? Scalabrini said, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me."
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. I think he does end up in LA, but I do not think that means that they don't go after somebody like Trae Young or somebody like that. I think they still make a move, but I think he will bring in Chris Paul in a rotational role.
He better not.
The last of the banana boat boys.
Mm. Well, anyway, speaking of rich people, this story is it's disgusting in a way.
Should we call this the money segment? That's what it is.
right?
This is the money. This is a money segment. Okay, I should have made a graphic for this.
We got Lionel Messi and Kareem Benzema.
Before you tell them, I gotta set this up because a lot of Ravens fans in here, a lot of Lamar fans in here. But you see a lot of Lamar detractors. You see a lot of people saying, "Hey, the money he's looking for, that's too much money. No players were." There's somebody that actually argued with us in the chat. I think he was in coach chat before too, saying, "No player should make that kind of money." Right? Show me what sport a player makes that kind of money. I said, well, they do it in the NBA. They make that money in baseball, and they also do it in soccer, which that's the American term for football. Okay. And this story, this is a great story because this makes all of American athletes look poor compared to these deals.
Right. Not look poor, they are comparatively. Yeah.
So start with Benzema, B. What is Benzema?
Well, actually, hold on. Let me see here. Just 1 second.
Because I clipped a couple of things from this article about Messi that I wanted to read to everybody. What do you want me to start with Messi?
Go ahead and start with Messi, yeah.
So Lionel Messi, he's leaving was it the Premier League, whatever league he's in?
He was playing in France.
PSG.
PSG. Yes.
Playing alongside of the one soccer player that I like.
Mbappe. Yeah.
And the one that I like, Neymar.
That's my guy. So it was expected that he's going to sign in the Saudi Arabia team or league, right? Because they're buying up everything. And in a surprise move, he decided that he's taking his talents to South Beach. Yes, to the MLS. They figured out a way to bring in Lionel Messi, and Messi isn't washed. This isn't a David Beckham situation where Beckham came over, played with the LA Galaxy, and he was a shell of himself, but still the best player.
Unnecessary shots at Beckham.
Messi just won the World Cup,
yes.
Right? Like he's still on top of his game. So how do they pull this off? Let's read this.
Well, part of it is he took some time off when the team wasn't off, and he acted like he thought they had an off week. Act like that. But go
ahead. This is from USA Today. Why did Messi choose Miami over Saudi Arabia and Barcelona? That's the other league. While a move by Messi to Miami had been rumor fodder, such a transaction seemed like a dreamland scenario for MLS and a team that is in its fourth season, sits in last place in the Eastern Conference, and recently sacked, meaning fired. They say sacked. That's always funny to me. Sacked its coach. An offer from Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal reportedly would have paid Messi around $400 million per year. Listen, guys, look at me here. Look at me. $400 million per year is what they were going to pay one man. Do not tell me, don't ever let anybody tell you that player's getting paid too much or that you're getting paid too much, right? If somebody's willing to pay you, you are worth it. Yes. You are worth it.
$400 million a year.
I got some more.
Not over 6 years, not over 8 years, not Patrick Mahomes over 10 years.
That's not 400.
365 days.
That's not 400 mil and 10 million at signing. That's cash on hand. Here's another part of it. It says MLS and Inter Miami. That's the team that's owned by David Beckham, right? Yeah, it says right here, which is owned by David Beckham, had to get imaginative in an attempt to lure Messi. Okay, I'm gonna read this and then I got some thoughts. MLS and its broadcast partner Apple offered Messi a share of revenue generated by new subscribers to MLS Season Pass on Apple TV Plus.
So that's going to be about zero.
Yeah. Messi, hold on. Messi also was offered a profit-sharing deal with Adidas per The Athletic. On Tuesday, Apple TV Plus announced that it was developing a 4-part documentary series featuring Messi. And I don't agree, but I think they're going to get a lot of people to sign up.
I think they are.
Yeah. But think about this. Think about what that article said. MLS is the league. MLS and David Beckham, the owner of this team. You had the league and the team getting together to purchase somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's like the NFL working with the Ravens to get Lamar a deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's
like a league in Spain getting together with a team in Spain to bring LeBron over there for a year.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what you do with leagues that you're trying to grow. And it's funny because I don't hear a whole lot of people saying about the MLS that they shouldn't be doing this. They should make more money before they try to pay players like they do with the WNBA. Yeah. Right? They're going out and they're investing in this league. They're making things happen to bring in viewers, which is how you grow your league.
I want to read this. I'm going to pull this coming up from Zaul. He says, Rolandinho was my favorite player. He's my favorite player too. He said he never made it to the States, but having Messi touring the States is huge for the Americas, from Argentina to Canada, Liga, MX, MLS, etc. Rolandinho was a dope player. I only watched him really in the World Cup, but he was also a player off the field because my man had 2 wives. Oh,
and I don't know if you saw it when it came up, but we want to say thank you to Ferris for the $5 donation.
Oh, as well. Salute, Ferris.
I don't know if he had a. Let me see if there was a.
I got it here.
Here it is. Yeah,
he's got one here. Final offer to Messi from the Saudi Arabia was 3 years, $1.6 billion. Yeah,
ridiculous.
So there was no monetary amount there. This is how you know this is a huge deal. They didn't show how much money this could potentially be, because revenue sharing that gets reported quarterly.
Hey, I'm like Danity. Whatever future grandkids, soccer.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is gonna make this next player comparatively sound like a broke boy. But Karim Benzema, he did sign in Saudi Arabia. And let me take this down real quick here so you can see. $215 million per year. And that on the right is what your entire 53-man roster in the NFL makes. 225. But again, American athletes are definitely overpaid.
Yeah.
Is what we hear.
Spoiled and overpaid. Okay, they're only sacrificing their bodies every Sunday for you guys, and you think they don't get paid enough. Those players deserve that kind of money. They deserve it.
That's crazy.
I feel bad now.
So basically, what Saudi Arabia offered Messi was
an arm and a leg.
Was a football team, and Messi said, "Well, yeah, but I can own 2 football teams if I if I take this MLS deal."
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. Speaking of B, we're going to be talking more money in the overtime show. All right, because look at that money burning in the background there. Oh my goodness, you got Skip and Shannon with the breakup. All right, Shannon is gonna go somewhere else to get a bag. You got Tiger's looking there, because a makeup happened in Tiger's world that cost him a huge bag. Okay, we're gonna talk about that on the overtime show. So patreon.com/LBHT show. If you're not signed up already, join that. And speaking of, do we want to get a word from our sponsors? Ourselves. Let's do it. Yes.
I've been waiting on that.
Patreon.com, right below Coach. Patreon.com/LBHT show. We have 3 tiers: $5 tier, $10 tier, $20 tier. Lots of good stuff. You get points for signing to Patreon too, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Hey, listen. If $5 alone is worth the price of admission. Go over the tiers real quick and tell them what they can get. But get your coins out. Okay, I know you guys. Some of you guys were planning on ordering Grubhub tonight. Save that $20 on delivery free. Go down the street, pick up your food, and get you one of these tiers. All right. What we got, B?
So we got the $5 tier, which gets you into the NFL Pick'em League that we do every season, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy. This past season, we converted it over to a plaque because apparently Hendo needs to shine the brightest. But it's a lot of fun. And
Where is
that
the plaque?
also,
Did you take it off?
I did not take it off. There it is.
There it is.
What do you mean?
There it is.
We also have the $10 the $10 tier, which will get you into the Fantasy Football League. Also get you that LBHT crew coin that Jose has right there. We have a Dynasty League and a regular redraft league. In the Dynasty League, we give away a custom championship belt. This is last year's belt that went out to Buck. Congratulations to him. We're going to be upgrading the belt this year, so it's going to look different, but keep the same kind of thing there. I mentioned the coin already. We also have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our boxing podcast that we do with OTR Mike, Ring Kings podcast. So you get everything that I mentioned, as well as the custom poker set featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. We had a lot of fun doing a 5-part series, kind of breaking down those 25. So definitely head over there and hit subscribe and check that out if you haven't already. And then we also have the $60 creator tier, which is for anybody who is thinking about starting up a YouTube channel, or, even if you're early on in your YouTube journey, we will help you out, avoiding some of the common pitfalls that we all kind of ran into. We have a strategy session where we kind of go over your channel and community building and content strategy and branding, things like that. We have our collaborators channel where we have links to people that we have worked with, like editors and graphic designers and things like that, so you don't end up on Fiverr. We have the creators channel as well, where, in the Discord, where everybody's in there. You can ask questions if you need any kind of advice or anything like that, and it's pretty active in there. And also, we will give you a creator spotlight on our shows across this show, as well as Open Mic with OTR Mike and the Rogue Pod. Just kind of let people know about your channel and trying to drive some subscribers there for you.
All right. Speaking of collaborators, one of the people that we collaborate with is Video AI. You've heard us mention them a couple shows. That's VIDYO.ai. Okay, if you are getting into this and you're doing live streams and you're trying to repurpose your videos, right? Make shorts and cut up those long forms like we do, like what we're gonna do for this show. We're gonna cut up some of these segments for some of you people that don't want to watch the whole entire stream. We're gonna put them up as shorter videos. We're gonna make shorts of these, and you see them all over the place. You see us do more and more of that. How are we able to do it so quickly? Video AI. It's a highly intuitive AI. It scares me. You guys know how I feel about AI. This is Skynet, but I might as well comply with them now. But listen, man, it's simple. Simply, all you do, you create an account, and you can just take the link from your YouTube video, put it in here, and give it about 10 minutes or so, and it's going to send you a message saying, hey, we've generated about 50 clips for you. Okay, it happens that fast. And I mean, they give you all kinds of templates. It does subtitles, and even if it's not perfect the first time, you go in there and you correct it, and it remembers. So I put DeAndre Hopkins in there. It was spelling it wrong at first, and once I corrected it, it spelled his name right every time I said the name. It is very, very intuitive. It's very smart, and it learns you. So go check it out. You can sign up for free. You get 75 minutes. I think 75 minutes a month for the free version, and there's a little bit more after that. So Video AI is where you can go and check them out. Now we work with a lot more people, but you have to sign up for that $60 tier to get that list. All right. All right. What we got?
Up next, we have our combat corner. We got a little MMA and boxing to talk about. There's a couple of big events this weekend. In the UFC, you got Amanda Nunes, arguably the greatest female fighter of all time, going up against Irene Aldana. And Aldana is a replacement fighter. Unfortunately, Juliana Pena, they were supposed to have their trilogy, the rubber match there, but Pena was injured and had to pull out of the fight. So it is going to be Aldana. I don't really think there's a whole lot of chance that Aldana upsets Nunes. But that's why they have the fights. I didn't think that Pena would win the first fight either, but you saw what happened there. Also on that card, you have Charles Oliveira going up against Beneil Dariush. It's a big fight, right? Oliveira is the former lightweight champion. Dariush is one of the top contenders, but it feels I don't want to say pointless, but neither one of them is going to beat Makhachev, who is the current title holder at lightweight.
Oliveira's the Brazilian, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, with the unbelievably large white teeth.
Yes, the cleanest teeth I've ever seen.
And he won that belt, dyed his hair blonde, and became a fashion model. But very exciting fighter, extremely exciting fighter. But he was submitted by Makhachev in the second round. Makhachev, I thought, lost his fight against Volkanovski. He got the unanimous decision, but I thought he lost it. But I don't see anybody who's actually in that lightweight division right now really being able to challenge him.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that. Makhachev is running that division. I thought Oliveira would be the closest one, but he dusted him off pretty easily. And Dariush, I don't think much of him either. But this is the problem I have with UFC, man. This is the problem I have with UFC. They run through these matches too quick. So now it's like when you have these pay-per-views, you're just like, yeah, all right. Like you've already seen the best fight, and you clearly know who the best is, and it's like, where do you go after that?
I never thought I'd see any woman beat Amanda.
Me neither.
So when that happened, I was like, so I'm interested to see how she bounces back. But the other fights on that card, it's like,
Well, she already won the rematch against that girl.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the third fight. I think in that first match with Pena, it seemed like she kind of took her a little lightly. Right. But she did just announce back in April that she is pregnant again. So congratulations to Amanda and her wife. But there's a lot of speculation about whether or not this will be her last fight. I think that there's a good chance of that. I think this will be their second child. Amanda Nunes has accomplished pretty much everything you can accomplish in the UFC. She's been a two division champion for a while, has beaten everybody they've put her up against. She beat Cyborg, beat Valentina Shevchenko twice. Even though there's some people who feel like Valentina won those fights. I don't know that they're gonna set up another one with Valentina.
Valentina just lost too.
Yeah, and especially coming off of that loss. So I think there is a decent shot that this is Amanda Nunes' last fight. And if you haven't seen her fight before, it's worth checking out just for that.
Yeah,
but you have seen her fight. You probably don't remember. Even if you're not a UFC fan, you have seen her because she's the one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was Ronda Rousey was the big female name. Then she lost to
Holly Holmes.
And then it's been Nunes since then, for the most part, as far as the big name.
Yeah, but that's not the fight that retired Ronda Rousey. It was the Nunes fight that retired Ronda Rousey. Yes. Like we conflate the two because Holly Holmes beat down Ronda Rousey. Don't get me wrong. Like she literally kicked her teeth out. But but it was Amanda Nunes fight that got all the memes because Nunes dusted her off.
They had the meme.
Dusted is a nice way of saying it.
Yes.
Had her up against the cage, and that's when they made her into Jar Jar.
Amanda Nunes is one of my favorite fighters of all time, men or women, in MMA. Right. I would say Spider Silva's my number one favorite, then John Jones, then Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson, and I would probably put Nunes fourth, and then Stylebender Adesanya, right? And Usman is up there too. Like those are my favorite fighters, but Nunes is definitely on that list, man. She was dominant.
So again, if you haven't seen her fight, definitely it's worth checking out. And the co-main with Oliveira and Dariush is a very good fight as well. Yeah. Also this weekend, there's a boxing event with Josh Taylor going up against Teofimo Lopez for a title at 140. This is an interesting fight because Josh Taylor is a little bit older, but he's only 19-0. but he's coming off a terrible performance against Jack Catterall. A lot of people
he should have lost.
A lot of people thought he lost that fight. That fight was in February of 2022, so he's going on almost a year and a half layoff coming into this fight against Teofimo, who, to put it lightly, has had a rough go of it recently. Teofimo in his last fight, it's the fight that we were live at in New York City. He fought Sandor Martin. The crowd ended up booing Teofimo. He got a decision in that fight. He got a decision against Sandor Martin, and only because of Sandor's inactivity. He was outboxing him all night. He just didn't throw enough punches to actually get the win on the cards. Prior to that, he had lost to George Kambosos, lost his belts at 135 before moving up to 140. So these are two guys who are really trying to get their careers kind of back on track a little bit. More so on Teofimo's side. But I think it's imperative that both of them, this is like a must-win fight for both of them, because there's not a ton of names in that division. You got Prograis, you got Catterall, Subriel Matias has one of the belts. Ryan Garcia is there, who's a real big name fighter, but obviously coming off a knockout loss. But right now, you have the possibility of Devin Haney moving up to that division, who will instantly become the most skilled fighter at 140. And I think both of these guys, in Taylor and Teofimo, want to get themselves back on track before that happens, and a possible match with Devin Haney down the line.
Yeah.
I like the name.
LBH Tally. What's going on? So Rowley has a belt right now. Ryan Garcia is trying to get that. It's an actual belt. It's not the regular championship belt. He got an actual belt that he beat some 40-year-old, quote unquote. That man looks like he's about 60.
They left a zero off of that
one. But Ryan Garcia is trying to make that fight happen. I don't want to go into too much detail. That's going to be on the next episode of Ring Kings podcast. Make sure you subscribe over there. But he wants that fight to happen. His promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, is running interference a little bit, right? He doesn't really want him to take that fight right now, and he's fighting with De La Hoya on Twitter about it. But Ryan Garcia, if he gets that fight with Rowley, he will beat Rowley. He'll have a belt, and that 140 division is going to be very interesting. And tag floats between both 140 and 135.
I think that's going to be a great fight, Rowley and Garcia.
It'll be very exciting, extremely exciting. Like they
I don't think it's going to be long, but I think it's going to be a great fight.
I'll say this: I don't think that Ryan will have trouble landing his hook on Rowley.
Right.
Yeah. Right, Engraven says, I'm about to try and play soccer, though, if they getting 400 mil per. Let me get vet minimum. Right. Let me be practice squad. Let me be practice squad. I'll take 400,000.
I'm like boy, on Friday, I sell a lot of court for $50.
But I also wanted to mention, Danny brought it up, Clarissa Shields. She fought this past weekend. That was a pretty that was a pretty standard win for her.
It was extraordinarily one-sided. She won every single round on every card, and one of the judges even gave her a 10-8 round despite not knocking the other woman down.
When you get a 10-8 round and not knock somebody down, that means it was a complete beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That don't happen a lot.
It doesn't happen a lot. And a lot of times when that happen, it doesn't happen even when it should happen, because usually the ref will just stop the fight. Just like, all right, look, you're you're good. You're not coming back, right? So yeah, very dominant performance. Best women's boxer out there,
absolutely.
And there's a lot of great fighters in women's boxing right now.
Yeah, I think it's her and Alicia Baumgartner as the top two in women's boxing right now. Very, very entertaining fighters. If you haven't seen Alicia Baumgartner, you gotta watch the highlight of her fight against Terry Harper. She landed a hard straight right on Terry Harper. Harper came forward and then stopped and went back and said, "Nah, I'm done." Kind of turned her back, and then the ref had to step in there.
Yeah. Amanda Serrano's another one. That's one of my favorites. Lot of excellent women boxers out there, man. Women's boxing. I think this is probably the best I've ever seen it. Right. But Clarissa Shields is too heavier. Is too big to fight those other ones. Like she's much heavier, so you won't see them fight. But
yeah, they're talking about trying to get her to come down to 147, which I mean that'll be very tough. She fights at middleweight. She fights at 160.
Yeah, so, I can't see that.
It'll have to be a very large check.
Yeah. All right. Is it bonus time?
It is now.
It is bonus time. You know, I forgot to put the basketball background for the basketball segment. My bad, guys. We're still working on it, but that's what it looks like there, Coach. That's our basketball segment.
Got it.
Yes. All right, bonus time. We're going to spend a few minutes. Man, we still almost hit 2 hours. What is going on here? I thought we had the perfect formula to get us out of here in an hour.
I told you we need a timer.
We got to tweak this. Yes.
I got you. Did you not notice the timer on the call-in show?
Yes. Okay. All right. We're stealing something else from Coach. You know what I'm saying? All right. Look, we'll hang out here for a few minutes. Leave your comments in the chat, and we will we'll chop it up with you guys for a little bit. Still 45 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And salute to Job Bigby over there on Facebook hitting the like, because we are streaming live on Facebook. But no more Twitch. No more Twitch. Somebody asked what was going on with Twitch earlier. Twitch always had a thing where they don't like you multi-streaming, right? So they always want you to stream on their platform solely. But if you weren't in their partner program, basically, you share revenue, ad revenue if you sign up for the partner program. If you're in the partner program, it had to be exclusive to them, right? And then 24 hours after that, you can take that stream and put it wherever. But they wanted exclusive rights to that initial stream if they're going to share revenue with you. If you're not in the partner program, you can do what you want to do. So me and B aren't in the partner program, and we don't have that many followers over there. It's not like we're blown up over there, but we're trying to grow. We're trying to grow across multiple platforms. So we started up an account over there and started streaming over there to try to grow that out. But we weren't in the partner program. We never planned on being in the partner program because we were going to keep streaming across multiple platforms. But today they announced that they're squashing that too. It doesn't matter if you're in the partner program or not. They want you to only stream just on their account. So if we live stream there, here, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, then you get a ban or a strike or whatever they do over there. So we're just not going to stream on Twitch anymore. Sorry, guys. You might see old man gamers here and there. We'll play a game or something like that. But Twitch, I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to sustain this this business model, because all the big ones are getting out the game now.
Yeah, they can't even, like, if you have your own like advertising logo with something else, it can't be 3% of just the screen. It has to be less than 3% of the screen. Yeah, little simple stuff like that. They're just pushing people away. Yeah. And they're I mean, look, I'm getting to the business side of it, and a lot of you guys don't care, but they didn't take care of their streamers. I don't think YouTube does a good job, but they're worse than YouTube. Yeah. All right. Score update from Jeremy says 18-16 Nuggets. Okay.
Over.
Stop the count. Will G said Twitch about to be punching air in a few months. Watch. Let's see here. Zoe says Jalen Brunson leader for FIBA. Is that the basketball team? The U.S. basketball team?
FIBA is the International Basketball Association, so I'm not sure what he means leader for FIBA.
I don't know. I'm guessing that league he's talking about. Not sure.
No, that's the whole association. Like,
yeah, it's not
like that. League. Like the NBA is FIBA. Like,
oh, okay, got you. I don't know.
That's what sure. That's the rules the Olympic go by.
He says Wizards are expected to engage in a full rebuild. Does that mean every player is for sale or trade Beal to New York? I think all their players are probably going to be for sale. I don't think that Beal ends up in New York. What are you comfortable with giving up for Bradley Beal? Because I would imagine the answer is Julius Randle, right? I know Knicks fans don't want to see that dude's face anymore, but they're not going to take Julius Randle back for Beal.
You know what? Knicks fans say that at the end of the playoffs, but in the offseason, going back into the season, they reset their thinking on Julius Randle.
Yeah.
New Yorkers.
They are Knicks fans, right?
Yes. Knicks fans, they hate you and love you simultaneously, man. Like they live in two separate spaces at the same time. Okay. They hate that man, but they love that man.
But that man got to go, though. And your head coach, mind you.
Who is their coach?
What's his name? Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Tibbs.
Mm-hmm. So Engraven, I'm gonna bring this back up. He says, been watching since the Messi news. Can't be mad for him for choosing Miami. And salute to Mikey. Mikey says, y'all thought I was done. Get your tickets. Salute, Mikey. Yeah, so they didn't put, I don't know if you caught that. They didn't put a dollar amount, on what that deal could be worth. Right. That, I mean,
I'm sure that deal is going to continue even when he's through playing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's why he took it over that set number from Saudi Arabia.
And Ferris reported what the final offer was from Saudi Arabia. If you didn't catch that, $1.6 billion for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Apple said, we could beat that. We're $1 trillion company. That's 1.6. What you talking? That's nothing. That's nothing.
Right.
Come over here. Come to Miami. Yeah, that's a major deal for a player. So never let anybody tell you that these players aren't worth it, man. These players in the U.S. they're not making anything compared to these soccer players. And salute to all of them. Go get your money.
All right.
I also wanted to bring up, we didn't talk about it in the Ravens segment.
Thanks for coming through, Agent.
Hey, salute, Agent E. Thanks for coming through, man. We didn't talk about Zay Flowers. I mean, it could be minor, it could be something. We got to bring it up because John Harbaugh said it was nothing, and we know anytime John Harbaugh says something, it's the opposite. But Zay Flowers sustained an injury, and right after that, we signed Laquan Treadwell. So, is it nothing? They expect him to be back at mandatory camp next week. Is it nothing, or should we worry because John Harbaugh said not to worry?
It's nothing. John Harbaugh doesn't give you a time frame when he's lying. They said next week at the latest. Yeah. So, I think it's nothing. I know Ravens fans got that PTSD though.
I do.
Right. And then he double downs on it and says that Treadwell is going to compete for a spot on the 53.
Well, I mean, technically they all are, right? So, I mean,
I don't think he meant technically though.
I think it is nothing because this year, like I said, this year more than any other year, they have to win, right? I think there's no more excuses. All right. They ran out of credit, ran out of sick leave, whatever you want, whatever analogy you want to use, they're out of it. They are. I told B that's what LeBron told AD before the playoffs started. Said, hey, you out of sick leave, right? He was like, what? Yeah, you out, dog. Like you gotta show up. So that's why he didn't miss any time during the playoffs. Yeah, this coaching staff is out of sick leave too. They're out of excuses. This whole regime, this whole front office is they're out of excuses. So if it really was an issue, they would have signed D-Hop. Right? Them not signing D-Hop tells me it's not a big deal. Everything's fine. He may not even really be hurt. It might be one of those things where he was a little sore and they're like, we'll shut it down. We're not taking any chances. Right? So I'm good with it. I don't think there's any problems. But still, they should sign D-Hop.
Zahul says Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly if they want young players plus picks. I think they would take that for Bradley Beal. I mean, if they are serious about actually rebuilding, which they haven't been in a couple decades, But if they are serious about going into a full rebuild, Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly, plus whatever else to make those salaries match, is a pretty nice offer for Washington. I mean, they gave away Rui Hachimura for 3 second-round picks and a point guard who never plays. So I mean, they ain't exactly shopping for the best deals out there.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out here in a couple of minutes. Coach, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Coach Evans9, on YouTube at Sip the Tally Films, also at IG and TikTok at Sip the Tally Films, and you can also find me for the streets at More Sip the Tally.
There you go. What's better than Sip the Tally?
More Sip
the Tally. Yes. Man, appreciate you coming on, Coach. And we're gonna do more of this. We see you every Monday already, but we're gonna bring you on the show more often.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, B, you had anything before we get out of here?
Daniel says he gave a time frame on Lamar last year. That was definitely a lie, but he didn't give a specific time frame on Lamar. He said, a few weeks. What I mean is, like, they're saying specifically he'll be back on, by this day, he'll be back next week for sure. They were kind of wishy-washy on Lamar. They were trying to put some pressure on him to try and come back, play hurt. And they were just like, maybe this week, maybe later.
I still think Steven Adams still hurt with that same injury.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But they said, Lamar's out there practicing. They say he's looking sharp out there. Yeah, Steven Adams. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, of course, basketball is a different sport. There's a lot more jumping around and stuff like that, so they might be more cautious with it. Hey, Mr. Galway, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
What's up, Dre?
Yeah, I got you on the link. Don't worry. Yeah, but look, Coach also Harbaugh also said that Lamar's coming back 200%, 200% sure, and Lamar's back, guys. Okay,
there it is.
There we go. We can trust the Harbaugh again. All right, we about to get out of here. We are going to go to the Overtime Show. If you want to be a part of Overtime Show, go to patreon.com/LBHT Show. There were a lot of things that we wanted to talk about, and we knew we were going to have a lot of time. So you want to go over to the Overtime Show, and you don't want to miss it. You guys missed it last week where we talked about the gang of orcas led by what's her name? White
Gladys.
White Gladys. Okay, the ringleader. That's a true story. That's a true story. Okay, you
get caught in White Gladys territory.
Today we're talking about Skip and Shannon and their breakup. Tiger Woods, he's looking to Tiger Woods is so sick, y'all. We're just talking about all the money that Messi and Kareem is making. Talking about missing a bag. My man missed out on $800 million.
Okay. And maybe we'll talk about how quickly AI outsmarted humans and turned incredibly scary.
That story that you told me about. Yes. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Guys, Skynet is happening. I just I mean
that AI drone was like Ferris. It wanted the points.
Right.
However, it was going to get them.
Yes. And what was slowing it down? The humans. So let's get rid of the human. That's what that AI decided. Oh, you guys don't want to miss this. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Do you have $5 in your pocket? You do? Go ahead, sign up. All right. You don't want to miss this. And our Discord is always popping. So always. All right, Coach. Appreciate you coming through.
No problem.
Thank you, Coach.
B, are you ready?
Very ready.
He is ready. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We got under 2 hours. All right. We're making progress. All right. If you're listening to this on the audio, make sure you hit that 5-star review. All right. We can't do the point system. I got overruled on that. We can't really figure that out yet, but we're going to figure out something for the audio listeners. Okay. We're going to figure out something for you guys. Stay tuned for that. All right. But yes, leave that 5-star review. Much appreciated. All right. We are out of here. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace, y'all.